And so that I could start to hear how I spoke to myself, how that inner dialogue went. And it was one of the most profound experiences that I had in terms of changing how I speak to myself. One of the things that we do in inner child work, it's a tough activity. The first part of the activity is pretty common. It's most therapists do this. They ask you to get a picture of yourself when you were young. But the second layer that I add to it, if you don't have a picture of yourself when you were young, to get an animal, a plant, or a picture of yourself or of another child. The hard thing about this activity that I'm going to share is because you really start to realize how much you mistreat yourself. The inner child is about the aspects of ourself that don't belong typically in our family home. Put that away. We don't do that here. That's too much. That's not enough, that kind of stuff. So when you take a picture of yourself, of a baby, of a plant, an animal, and when you start to realize how you think to yourself, how you insult yourself, how you mistreat yourself in your thoughts, the activity I give clients to begin with is to say that to the dog, the animal, the plant, or the picture of the child. I actually had a client, she had a baby, maybe 9 months old, in her high chair, and she was doing inner child work. The baby's name was Diana. And I said, okay, every time you have these negative thoughts about yourself, what we call the inner critic, I want you to tell Diana out loud, like you're a loser, like you're worthless. She's like, I can't do that. I said, you can't do that to your biological child, but you could do that to your inner child. We can't expect to grow this aspect up, be whole, integrated adults, if that's how we're talking to ourselves. And so the taking a picture of yourself or speaking to an animal, and I got him intentionally to be small so that he would represent the child. And so that I could start to hear how I spoke to myself, how that inner dialogue went. And it was one of the most profound experiences that I had in terms of changing how I speak to myself, because now I have to say it out loud to him. And he's like this baby. Like, why would I want to talk to him that way? But then why would I want to talk to, little Frances that way? And until we have some sort of like expression where we realize how damaging our thoughts are and how that inner voice really sounds to something so innocent, like a puppy or a plant or an image of an infant, we don't really realize the damage that we're doing to ourselves. So it's one of those assignments that has some shock value to it, but it really helps make you realize that, wow, my inner dialogue really is what keeps me stunted and feeling, depressed or in pain and sad.